Greetings everyone. My name is Sajid Achudandan and today our team is going to discuss the strategic decision took by Netflix from being a DVD rental company to a world's leading source of international streaming with more than 260 million members around the world. Let me begin by introducing our team. Ahmed Al-Jawi, Ahmed Abdawi, Marwan Al-Aqili. Let's look into the brief timeline of the Netflix from making the strategic decisions from a DVD rental company to a world-leading online streaming platform. Founded by 1997 by Red Hastings and Mark Randolph, who recognized the potential of the internet from delivering DVDs straight to the people's home. And in 1998, they started the official Netflix.com website. Followed by that, in 1999, they started to offer subscription based DVD by email services and without late fees. This strategy by Netflix gained a huge popularity and gained more than 5 million followers, which was the initial game changer. Recognizing this shift in the consumer behavior and the rising popularity of online streaming, they launched Netflix streaming services, which was a winning formula, and then they expanded its services to different parts of the world, and rest is history, with having currently more than 260 million subscribers globally. In the light of the evaluation, our team will analyze the strategic choice made by Netflix by analyzing the external factors, internal factors, SWOT, TOS, stakeholder analysis, and the strategic decision made. I would like to begin by analyzing the external factors behind the strategic choice by using the pestle as a tool. Politically, the geopolitical tension and trade bans and transaction is considered as a threat. The political censorship is also a threat. The governmental support for socio-cultural or national promotion through films can be considered as an opportunity here. When we look into economical, the higher purchasing capacity can be considered as an opportunity. The high inflation in some markets is also an opportunity and threat as well. Socially, when we look, the rising interest in multicultural content can be considered as an opportunity. However, the strong recognition in some markets is an opportunity as well as a threat. And also, the increasing consumption of movie and series clips on social media is a threat actually. Technologically, when we see, the widespread use of the mobile devices is actually an opportunity. The improving internet connectivity worldwide is also an opportunity. And also the animation software capabilities can be used as an opportunity as well. When we look into environmentally, the increasing availability of renewable energy is actually an opportunity for Netflix. And also the increasing focus on the sustainability is also an opportunity that can be considered. However, in the legally, the improving regulations on the intellectual property is actually an opportunity, but the protectionist regulations of media and entertainment when it comes to Netflix and online stream platforms is an opportunity as well as a threat. And also the lawsuits involving various parties is also considered as a threat. Another external tool used to analyze is the Porter's five forces. Netflix's long-term success depends on its competitor advantage and the strategies for overcoming competitive pressures illustrated in the five forces analysis. The achievement of the company's goals and the performance targets are actually subject to the five forces. But carefully designed strategies can successfully promote Netflix business growth despite the competition in the entertainment and the online streaming industry. When it comes to the competitive rivalry, it's moderate, with low differentiation of the streaming services, high differentiation of content producers, subscribers moderate switching cost. When it comes to the bargaining power of the Netflix customers, it's moderate. With small size of individual subscribers, subscribers moderate switching cost, subscribers moderate price sensitivity as well. When it comes to the bargaining power of the suppliers, it's pretty weak. With high differentiation of content producers, a large number of content producers, and also high switching cost of content producers and the supplies as well. When we are going to the substitute or substitution threat to the Netflix, it is pretty moderate with a moderate cost of switching to substitutes, like Sony Pix or Amazon, moderate availability of substitutes, and also subscribers moderate prosperity to substitute. When we are looking into the threat of the new entrance or the new entry, it's pretty weak, where it is having a moderate cost of doing business, high supply chain cost, high cost of reaching critical means for network effect. Over to Abdali.
Next, we move on to the SWOT analysis, where we analyze the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of Netflix as a company. In terms of strength, Netflix has a very strong brand. It's well recognized and well reputed in a sense. They have a very large subscriber base currently, and they have an extensive content and variety of content that cater to the needs of the consumer himself. They do have a very unique and strong data-driven personalization system and capabilities, and they have the ability to produce high-quality content. In terms of their weaknesses, their high content acquisition costs when it comes to TV shows and movie on the platform itself. They depend, of course, on the internet infrastructure, and there is an ongoing and increasing competition levels from other streaming entities and services. There is also a potential for subscription fatigue given all the subscription-based models that's currently in the market. However, there are some opportunities that Netflix can seize, which is one of them is the growing global demand for entertainment and streaming content, the expansion to new markets and demographic across the continent, and the development of immersive content experiences. It's more about experimentation with new business models such as gaming and live events, and also opportunities for partnership with other content creators. They do have some threats though. One of them is the increased competition from traditional media companies, everyone launching his own streaming services. There are some regulation challenges when it comes to the broad scope of Netflix operation, as well as some technological advancement in privacy and content sharing. When it comes to taking those strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, the TOS matrix analyzes for Netflix strategic shifts to streaming, outlining key factors and potential strategies. In terms of SO strategy using strength to capitalize on opportunities, there are three main things that Netflix can focus on. One of them is the global expansion. The second is the data-driven innovation when using the data that they own currently to personalize content, and also a strategic partnership when it comes with content creators and platforms to expand. In terms of WO strategies, overcoming weaknesses to seize opportunities, Netflix can do so by actually original content investment, cost efficiency measures, and technology partnership. They can focus on as well the ST strategies, which is using strength to mitigate threats by brand differentiation, since they are a very well reputed brand, the strategic content acquisition when it comes on focusing on exclusive rights to some content, as well as lobbying and advocacy, meaning that they have to be engaged with industry and government discussion to shape regulation when it comes to streaming services and content. In terms of WT strategies, minimizing weaknesses and avoiding threats, they can focus on strategic cost management when it comes to content and subscription models. They can focus on this diversification of revenue stream and look for alternative rather than just streaming. Some Netflix opportunities in the past couple of years was towards gaming as well, and also technology innovation when it comes to investing in technology advancement to combat the piracy and all the security measures and improve the streaming quality. Video analysis is used to strategically analyze framework that help businesses identify and evaluate their resources and capabilities. So the value stands for the value, rarity, immutability, and organization. And we have listed down a couple of resources and capabilities that we believe are of high value when it comes to Nefflix. Most of them are either highly rare or even moderately rare. They somehow are difficult or moderate in terms of immutability, and in terms of organization, they are mostly effective. So we analyzes the sustainable competitive advantage when it comes to Nefflix. One of them is being the early adopter of streaming technology, their data-driven personalization, as well as their investment in original content. And they are competitively advantageous in a couple of things, such as the content acquisition strategy, the global expansion, and the technology infrastructure and expertise. In terms of decision making, when it comes to Nefflix strategic decision making is not a one-man show. It's a symphony of collaboration, data, and forward-thinking vision. By tapping into diverse expertise, analyzing vast data sets, and constantly testing and adapting, Nefflix ensures its decisions resonate with both the present and the future, solidifying its position as a global entertainment powerhouse. The key players, of course, is the executive leadership, the CEO Reed Hastings and his team, the cross-functional teams, the data analysts, and the global thinkers. While the process is straightforward, they base their decision based on data-driven analysis. They go into a collaborative brainstorming across cross-functional teams. They do an A/B testing and experimentation to test their ideas and see what works in the market. And then the leadership basically align, and the major decision makers require approval from the executive leadership team to proceed with the new decisions that are made.
Thank you so much. I'll pick it up from here. As part of our analysis, we have mapped Nefflix stakeholders according to the stakeholder map, which is a visual representation of the relationship between an organization and its various stakeholders. It basically helps identify and analyze the interest, the influences, and the importance of each stakeholder and how they should be managed, basically. Given the limited time available, I'll touch upon the key stakeholders in each bucket. Firstly, the shareholders of Nefflix are the owners of the company, and as such, they have high interest and high power and should be managed closely. Secondly, regulators and tax authorities have low interest but have high power. For example, if regulations are not met or taxes are not paid, therefore it's important. Basically, it gives them a leeway to exert their power, and therefore they should be kept satisfied. Thirdly, competitors have low interest and low power and should only be monitored. And lastly, customers have low power but high interest as they want the service to continue. As such, they should be kept informed. Moving on to Nefflix financial ratios, we have also evaluated their financial performance prior and post making their strategic decision to turn Nefflix into what it is today. As a summary, the profitability has not been affected much in terms of margins, but have improved significantly in terms of returns. Secondly, Nefflix liquidity have taken a dip as the new business model focused on receiving their payments in advance, and technically it increases your current liabilities. Thirdly, the increase in leverage is evident as a result of the transformation, which was required for the funding of the transformation. This can also be shown in the sharp increase in the gearing ratio and the drop in the interest coverage ratio. And lastly, the fluctuation in the ratios, the turnover ratios illustrates that Nefflix has experienced some inefficiencies during the transformation on account of a fixed asset turnover ratio, which is set to recover post a selected period. We have also performed an analysis on Nefflix value chain. If you look at the chart, the bottom section looks into the primary activities of Nefflix, while the top section represents the supporting activities. Now, both of these functions, they go hand in hand, which enable Nefflix to achieve their profits. In the interest of time, I will summarize the value chain analysis as follows. The primary activities mostly focus on efficient and effective management of resources and relationships, which allow Netflix to achieve cost-effective operations, but with focus on brand development through their astonishing customer service. Secondly, the supporting activities focus on decentralized structure with emphasis on employees' participation. Additionally, they focus on leveraging advanced technologies and procuring popular and their own shows to maintain competitive edge.
Hello everyone. Now moving forward with the strategic decision-making process taken by Nefflix, as my colleagues have already explained both the internal and external analysis behind the decision. Research has proven that variation in the strategic decision-making process directly correlates to the effectiveness of the decision. Netflix's co-founder Reed Hastings has also emphasized in his book No Rules Rules on the importance of this diagram here, showing the loop in which Netflix uses to take decisions, which starts by analysis, towards decisions, towards implementation, and then goes back to analysis, reflecting on the data gathered from the implementation. Now, with the decision in hand of moving to streaming, we have used Ainsof's matrix to analyze the various alternatives Netflix had in 2007. The four alternatives are market penetration, market development, product development, and diversification. Netflix has opted for product development, which means that they decided to introduce a new product, which is online streaming, to their existing market. And then moving towards market development in 2010, as my colleague Sajid have showed in his presentation. No one can better explain the challenges of this decision execution than Netflix's co-founder Mark Rodolph.
Challenge for Netflix is how do you build a company in a world of today but remain relevant and meaningful in the future when they're receiving movies a different way. One of the big failures people have is they fall in love with their ideas. Your idea is wrong. You don't know how or why yet, but until you put the idea out there and see it collide with the real world, you won't know what direction to go. One of the things I'd say is going to be successful is this complete comfort with making a business fool of myself by trying and testing things that have absolutely no obvious reason why they should work, and then sometimes, holy mackerel, they do.
The main challenges of implementation that Netflix faced were technology infrastructure challenges, financial challenges, and the content availability challenges. The technology infrastructure challenges were the streaming technology, device compatibility, and internet speeds and bandwidth, which were not up to today's standards. The financial challenges included high capital expenditure of streaming infrastructure, investment in original content, and subscription fees limitations, where it was not common for people to pay high subscription fees for online services. The third issue is content availability, where Netflix had limited original content to be presented online, and they had to license content from other producers to be presented on their online platform. Now, seeing how Netflix overcame these challenges, Netflix's decision adoption process involved 6 major points, which correlate to one or more from McKinsey's 7S model for strategic planning. The 7S model includes strategy, structure, systems, shared values, skills, managerial style, and the staff. The first point was adaptability and continuous improvement, which meant that Netflix had to embrace an agile approach towards their development. The second point was strategic positioning, where Netflix had to reposition their brand. The third one was on content creation and acquisition, where Netflix invested in new original content and licensed content from major producers. The fourth point was technological innovation, where Netflix had invested in technological infrastructure and used data analytics, technology to drive data analytics. The fifth point is financial resource management, which meant they had to balance the subscription fees to achieve market penetration. The sixth point was marketing the new product, where they had to manage internal marketing for their staff and investing into marketing campaigns and trial periods. Last but not least, the decision outcomes were brilliant, as Netflix had a very narrow strategy to execution gap due to their agile approach and quick adaptability to market conditions. In terms of revenue, the decision had led an exponential growth of 52-fold between 2007 and 2023, and led a recurring income model of monthly subscriptions, auto-renewing monthly subscriptions, and it eased the global expansion. In terms of user engagement, it increased the viewing time, and it led users to a new watching behavior where they binge watch shows from beginning to end. And it also led to an increase in content consumptions made by Netflix. In terms of market impact, it gave Netflix a head start to gain global recognition against its competitors. It also allowed Netflix to become an original content powerhouse where they were approached by most producers and people in the industry. In terms of future insights, in terms of future insights, the decision has intensified the competition against Netflix. It allowed several newcomers to the business of streaming. It also changed the consumer behavior where consumers' preferences have evolved. And Netflix should also take into account the global regulatory landscape, as diverse regulatory bodies and different censorship requirements are costly and should be accounted for. Thank you for your time.